What's up, guys? It's Brandon and Kalie. It's 6:49 in the morning. We're in Westminster, Colorado. I'm driving myself to the Denver airport, and then Kalie's gonna drive back. But I'm headed to Phoenix, and from there, we're probably gonna meet up somewhere, but I'm picking up a pretty fun car to drive all the way to New York City. Well, I got through security really quick, tried to get Starbucks, and turns out Starbucks is under construction, so I'm gonna have to figure out some other food option. Oh, and coffee option. I need coffee. Arrived to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Just ordered my Lyft. It was like $12, not too bad. I'm gonna be riding in a Honda CRV and just waiting for that to arrive, so it'll be like 2 or 3 minutes. And luckily the shop that I'm picking the car up from is very close, probably like less than 10 minutes. We're in the Model X. I got the wheels swapped from the 22-inch to the 21-inch Arachnids. So now we're gonna be taking off. This Model X has 36,000 miles on it. It's a 100D 2017, full self-driving, MCU2, all that fun stuff. And I'm gonna be driving it from here in Tempe all the way to New York City. But first, I'm probably gonna grab some In-N-Out burger. All right, I got some In-N-Out. Now we're headed on the road. Wants us to stop in Payson. I'm probably just gonna do a very brief stop there and then go to Holbrook, because I've heard that the V3s are actually online at Holbrook now. So we'll go Payson, Holbrook, Gallup, which also has V3s, and then we'll do Albuquerque, but I'm not sure where we're gonna go after that. I need to figure out where it makes sense as far as hotel. And maybe Kalie will let me know where I'm gonna end up meeting her, because I'm either going to be splitting off and going east, or I'm gonna be going north to Denver to meet Kalie. We made it to the Payson, Arizona Supercharger. Just plugged in. Let me show you guys the charging curve before I run to Starbucks and grab a coffee. We're not very low, and I did rip it kind of hard up the mountain, but pretty good speed so far, at least compared to what I'm used to. That's actually really solid. I'm not used to seeing it go over 110 coming from 70Ds, but 137 kilowatt at 34% with a hot pack. I am not complaining. So far, impressions of the Model X. Really impressed with how it handled ripping up the mountain from Phoenix to Payson. I was going pretty quick, and it handled probably better than my Model S or Kalie's Model S. That might just be a result of the lower profile tires. Thermal performance was good. It did start limiting power a little bit towards the end, but it recovered much quicker than the Model S did. That's probably just a result of a healthier cooling system due to a newer car, but really love the windshield. It's really cool being able to like drive through the mountains, and even if you're kind of angled down going downhill, you can still see like the entire mountain and everything. I really like this car. Got my Starbucks. We were here for 9 minutes, and now we're headed to Holbrook. Let's see what we arrive with. I want to arrive low so I can see how it does on the new V3 stalls that they have at Holbrook. We just rolled into Holbrook Supercharger at 5%. We were ripping it a bit to run it down. This is kind of an interesting install. They just finished this V3 install. If you watched some of my previous videos, you saw the construction. But rather than running all the conduit underground, a lot of it's actually above ground, which is kind of cool. Probably made the install a lot easier. But let's get plugged in and see what this car pulls. The owner has told me that it will pull up to 172 kilowatt, at least in his experience. I'm just waiting for the charge pin to drop. The charge port ring doesn't work anymore for whatever reason. There we go. Hopefully this is one that works, because it did say somewhere down, I believe. But let's take a look. And here we go, ramping up. Interesting. I might hold this lower charge until it gets a little bit higher state of charge, or it could be temperature limited. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so it's been a couple minutes here, and now that we're up to 9%, it's ramping up. This might be the max, I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if it ramps up even more, but it kind of, once it hit 9%, that's when it started going up. Charged up to 59%. Burger King is still drive-through only, which is really obnoxious at this point. And it's projecting 15% arrival to Gallup, New Mexico. Also has new V3 stalls, but they only have 4 V3 stalls there. Curious to see how the car does. I'm going to take it a little easier so that the battery temperature is better, because it was very strange, the charging curve. Made it to Gallup, New Mexico. There are the 4 V3 new Superchargers. There are the 4 originals. Let's hop in the car, see what the charge rate's like. We pulled in with 9%. I took it kind of easy, just going fast interstate speeds, but not ripping it or anything. So let me show you guys. So we pulled in at 9%. It already ramped up here while I was talking. Let's see what we end up going up to, and when it starts ramping, I would guess 11% based on what we saw at the last charging session. There is a Model 3 on the same V3 unit, but in theory that shouldn't impact us. We still should be able to pull up to 250 kilowatt. I don't think this car will pull 250 kilowatt. It must be amperage limited until it hits that 11%. Let's see what happens when that happens. but it's ramping. We like to see that. And there it goes. It's picking up a little quicker. I do hear the AC compressor spinning up a little bit more as well. So it seems to be the sweet spot on this car is roll in with 11%. Will we hit 140, 150? So this is a really good charging session so far. See what we max out at. Looks like at this point 152 is all she wants to do, but I'll keep an eye on it and show you guys if it ends up ramping up again. All right, I just chatted with Kalie. So it looks like we're gonna end up going through Kansas tomorrow. So I'm gonna go up to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and then that way I'll cut across at Colorado Springs and then across, and she'll be coming from Thornton. So in theory, with her slower charging and her leaving later, I might end up actually crossing paths with her as we head probably to Salina, Kansas, and that will most likely be our stopping point tomorrow. Let's hit the road. I'm overcharged. I charged to 84%, but still getting pretty decent rates. 34 kilowatts at 84%. We just rolled into Albuquerque at 8%, and I'm having to share power because there are only 6 stalls and there are 5 cars here. Oh, there we go. It was getting 24 kilowatt for a moment, but now we're ramping up to 48 kilowatt at 8%, which not great, but acceptable. I'm probably gonna run into Applebee's and reluctantly get some food because I should probably get some food here. The Model 3 that was parked next to me just unplugged. Let's see how the charging cabinet handles being able to have full power again. Might take a moment here. We should see the hour 20 minutes drop, and we should see the 48 kilowatt ramp up pretty quick, especially since we're right at the 48 or the 11% ramp up point. And there we go. Hoping for a full 150. That's what we should be able to get in theory. But some superchargers do have a site maximum, meaning that it doesn't matter how many superchargers are in use or what the maximum power output of them is, the total station only has so much power due to transformer or other reasons. And we're charged up to 75%. I ended up not getting food. I decided I didn't want Applebee's. I'll stop at the gas station on the way out of here. Yeah, we're going to arrive to Las Vegas, New Mexico with 15%. And if we need to, we can bail out in Santa Fe. We've made it to Las Vegas, New Mexico at 9%. Let's get plugged in here. Pretty chilly out. It's about 49 degrees. The charge pin on this, or the pin for the charge lock, is slow to drop. There we go. But car's getting a little wet. We're at the Comfort Inn. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And hopefully they're still open for check-in. Made it to the hotel, Comfort Inn and Suites here in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Pretty mediocre, but it's a place to shower, a place to sleep. If I can find the light switch here. So just letting the car charge up a bit, and then I'll probably wake up and throw it on the charger while I get ready. Probably let it charge up to like 50% tonight. Still need to go grab my stuff, and then that'll be it for tonight, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning from Las Vegas, New Mexico. Just woke up and showered at 7:20 in the morning, and now I'm headed out to the car to go plug it in on the supercharger. That way, while I just gather the rest of my things and maybe grab some of the hotel breakfast, it charges up probably 90-95%. It's at about 78 right now. And then we're gonna hit the road. First stop will be Trinidad, Colorado.
Good morning here from Denver. As you guys saw yesterday, Brandon headed to Phoenix to pick up the Model X, and I am just wrapping up here. I spent 4 nights here, so we pretty much unloaded the whole car into the hotel room, and then Brandon graciously left me the rest of his stuff to also pack up. So it's been quite the few trips to pack up the car. So I'm just finishing up here, and then we're gonna head out. Brandon and I are planning to meet in Salina, I think that's how you say it, Kansas, today. We might meet up along the way. We have a similar-ish charging route, so just depending on how timing occurs, we might see each other earlier, we might not. But yeah, so I'm gonna pack up and then hit the road. Alright, so I have her now set to Salina. This is the route we'll be taking. Brandon will be pretty much doing the same thing. He's just coming from down here and going to come up and cut across instead. And then we will either meet at one of the superchargers or meet in Salina. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But first, I'm going to get some coffee. I'm trying to kill some time because when Brandon sent me like his nav earlier, he sent me a picture of it. It said he was gonna be in Lyman around 1, and I'm scheduled to get there around 11. So I'm gonna try to kill some time, get some coffee, have a bit of a slow morning before heading out towards Lyman. So hopefully we can meet up somewhere around along the way, or at least get to the hotel around a similar time.
Just rolled into the Trinidad, Colorado Supercharger. 26%. There's a Wendy's, gas station, dispensary. And there's actually a Holiday Inn Express up on the hill there. Let's see what kind of charge rates we're getting. Probably pretty good. I'd guess over 100 even. So that's actually really solid. So just going to charge up here as little as possible to make it to Lyman. I might end up meeting up with Kalie in Lyman, or more likely in Colby, or I believe Goodlands before Colby. So we'll probably go Goodland after Colby because Kalie's car needs every stop. So just see how long we'll end up being here and how many miles it is to Lyman. So Lyman's 170 miles. We're gonna need a fair bit of charge.
I got my coffee. I got an iced latte with lavender flavoring and oat milk. It's a pretty standard one for me, but they had such a cute little coffee house. It's kind of in like a home complex, so I would like love to live here and just have that as like my home coffee shop. Essentially, it was called Reunion Coffee Shop, but they had a cute little porch, a cute little coffee house, and then they have a lake out back here and a little walking trail. It's probably like a quarter mile to half mile loop. So I'm just doing that while I enjoy my coffee, stretch my legs a little bit before I sit in the car for the next few hours. All right, so I just finished my coffee here at the Reunion Coffee House, did my little walk, and now we are heading towards Lyman. I'm leaving here with 78%, and it's estimating that we'll get there with 31. So we shall see. I have plenty of buffer, don't have to worry about my speed or anything, and it's saying that I'll get there 11:20, so yeah, let's go.
Ended up charging up to 92% here in Trinidad, Colorado, and now I'm headed to the Purgatory Coffee House. Definitely need some caffeine, and then it's 170 miles to Lyman, Colorado.
So we got here with 31%. I'm waiting for the charger to click on. I just heard it. Let's see what we get. I don't expect the rate to be extremely high considering we're pulling in at 31. And we topped out at 74. Not shocked. So I am the only one here. No one else. All the stalls are empty. There's an Arby's right behind me. There's a gas station. I'm probably gonna go over to the gas station and use the restroom. But yeah, the pull-in situation here is not great. It's kind of like gravelly, and yeah, I think I can either spend 45 minutes here and continue all the way to Colby, or I think it was like 30 minutes to continue to Goodland. So I think I'm just gonna continue on when I can get to the Goodland Supercharger. I talked to Branden, and it sounds like we're probably not gonna cross paths regardless, so that's what I'm probably gonna do, and then I'm just gonna get to the hotel earlier than him and then meet him there probably. So right now at 35%, it's saying we'll get there to Goodland with -11. So by the time I use the restroom, mosey around a little bit, we should be good to go. So that gas station had one stall and about a line of 3 people, so it took a little bit longer than anticipated, but that's good. I mean, I'm just here to kill time anyways. So right now it's saying we get to Goodland with 2%, so we'll be here for a few more minutes and then head on out there. All right, we're up to 70%, and it's saying we'll get there with 11, which is good enough for me. So I'm gonna unplug and we're gonna hit the road.
When you said hello, I knew right away. You take my heart a little day by day.
And here we have it. We made it at 1%. We were ripping at 441 mile per mile, which I feel like is not too bad. 168.9 miles from the coffee shop, 172 since we unplugged. And we're almost 900 miles into this trip. Let's get plugged in here. We're in Lyman, Colorado at the Arby's. This charge pin seems to take forever to drop, and the charge ring doesn't work anymore. So that's in a service request. Just wait for that charge latch to drop. There we go. And let's see how this thing ramps. It's probably not going to ramp very aggressively since it seems to not like pulling a lot of power at low state of charge. Let's just see what it does once it starts. I would guess around 60, 70 maybe. Yep, 59 kilowatt, and then it probably won't ramp much more until it hits 11%.
So I just got to Goodland, Kansas with 15%. We're gonna get plugged in here. It looks like it's mattress delivery day here because there's a big pile of mattresses, if that wants to focus, right there. So let's get plugged in. For some reason, I thought Brandon said there was a Starbucks at this Supercharger and I didn't look on PlugShare myself. So I was hoping to get some Starbucks, like a refresher or something, but I think it's the next one he was talking about. I don't know if he said the wrong one or if I got them confused, but I think I'm gonna just stay here for a little bit and then go there because I think there's a Starbucks. I'm gonna double check, but yeah.
The bugs are starting to accumulate on the front end of this X, and you can definitely hear the cooling system is running.
So I just pulled up the PlugShare to confirm there is a Starbucks at the next one. So we're gonna stay here just for a few minutes, get to what we need to get to Colby Supercharger. That is 36 miles away, and right now I'm at 20%. It says I can make it there with 0%, so love that. So we'll probably be here like 15 minutes. I might run and find a restroom just for safe. I don't really have to go, but for safekeepings. There's not much to do here. There's a couple hotels. There's a little gas station across the street. But yeah, I'm just gonna kill the few minutes that I need here and then go to Colby because I could use a little bit caffeine. So I was looking forward to Starbucks that I thought was here, but it's not. So we're gonna just use the restroom and probably unplug and go and head that way. So I just went into the hotel there. They were very nice. I asked to use their restroom. They were very kind about it. There's some guys lifting the mattresses. We're ready to go here. I charged up to 32%. It says we'll get there with 11%. And I'm ready for some Starbucks, so let's get going.
Just had some Taco Bell. Car's up to I think 62, 63%, but it's a couple minute walk over back to the car. My goal is to be able to go straight to Colby instead of going to Goodland. It's only about 35 extra miles, which in Kalie's car is kind of annoying because she has to actually charge up quite a bit here to make it to Colby, so it made sense for her to stop in Goodland. But I don't think it will make sense for me to stop there, being that my charge rate doesn't slow as much as hers does. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully make it there and see what the difference is if I skip it or if I go there.
We arrived at Colby with 12%. I'm gonna get us plugged in here. We're supposed to be here, we're estimating at 35 minutes. I'm gonna get some Starbucks, kill some time, and yeah.
Charged up to 80%. We got 144 miles till we get to Colby, Kansas. We'll go an hour ahead, I believe, by the time we get there. I don't know exactly where the time change is, but I'm pretty sure it's before we get there. And if we need to, we can bail out and go to Goodland. That's about 30 miles prior to Colby. But I think I might catch up to Kalie and Hayes, just with her longer charge times. But we shall see. Car's projecting arrival of 3:46 p.m.
So it's time for a little snack. I got a burrito from Qdoba, and then I got my Starbucks refresher. I asked for, I don't do water, ice, or inclusions. I just want the juice, so then I can pour it over ice, which I have in this cup. That way I can kind of control how watered down it is and stuff, and I get the most of my money. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I decided to eat it outside because they have this beautiful picnic area and a little playground. So I'm gonna do that while my car charges. So I just finished eating my burrito outside. It was really nice to be able to sit outside, especially after being in the car for like a few hours. I mean, obviously I stopped at the charger in Goodland, but it's just nice when I do get to stop that I can like spend some time outside or something like that. So I am at 57%. It's projecting I'll get to Hayes with 3% right now, so I think I'm just gonna run in and use the restroom, and then I should be good to head out. This was a really easy stop with the Starbucks and the food, and it was the perfect time of day because it's about 3:14 here, but that's, I don't know how to do time zones. 2:14. It was 2:14 in Colorado, which is a good lunchtime for me, especially when I wake up later and like get my day started later. So I'm just gonna wrap up here and then we're gonna head towards Hayes. So we've charged up to 68% here. It's estimating we'll get there with 8%, and I think that's good enough for me. It's been higher today, I think, because I think the wind's in our favor, so we're gonna get going.
And Colby, Kansas, here we are, 8%. This is a great supercharger spot. We've got a dog park over here. We've got Starbucks, Qdoba, gas station, all that fun stuff. There's Model 3 over there, another Model X here. Let's get plugged in here and see what kind of rates we get. I was just on autopilot pretty much the whole way. So let's see what kind of speeds we can get here. This is a V2 150 kilowatt. And let's also see just quick how far it is to Hayes. That's our next stop, and if the timing works out, I should be arriving to Hayes right as Kalie is about to leave Hayes. You know, I think I could get used to this. I put the Falcon Wing doors open just for a photo because it looks cool. Then I decided to just sit back here, and it's actually pretty nice just sitting back here in the shade with the doors open. Breeze coming through. Only thing I would change is I would probably put the seat forward so I can actually like put my legs in front of me, because right now I'm kind of just sticking them out the side, but this is nice.
All right, we just arrived with 6%. Got the lovely battery very low side. I'm gonna get us plugged in. Let's wait for our speeds. Just heard it connect. And 111 and quickly dropping. So on PlugShare it said that 2A and 2B are not functioning. 2B is wrapped around, but 2A is not. I didn't even bother trying, but maybe I'll try on the way out and wrap it around if it's not. Yeah. This supercharger was a little bit of a pain to get to. If you're coming to this area anytime soon, I mean, I don't know if it'll be done or not yet, but there's massive construction, so don't run it completely low, because I had to, so when you get off the exit, you're supposed to take a left, but they have like giant poles just like in the road, so you can only go right, but like navigation doesn't realize this. So I had to go up about probably a mile, take a roundabout, and then backtrack. So I was supposed to get here with I think 8% originally and ended up with 6, so don't run it too low if you're coming to this charger. There's not too much to do at this charger. There's an Applebee's right there, and then on the other side it looks like there's a pizza and tap room, and then whatever's behind me looks closed. So I'm just gonna sit here, relax a little bit. I was talking to Brandon. He might run into us here. I'm not sure, we'll see. I think I'm supposed to be here till about 5:25, and he was estimating to get here at 5:30, so if it's gonna be a 5-minute difference, I'll wait for him and say hi and then probably head on my way, but we'll see. Hopefully we see him, but if not, I'll see him at the hotel. There's only 93 more miles I have to drive today, so. And since there's nothing to do on this charger, I'm going to watch some Netflix. This is just silly. It wants me to stop at the Sony Supercharger before heading to my hotel for the night, but it's literally 0.8 miles away, so I don't know why it wouldn't just have me sit here for a few more minutes, but that's what we're gonna do.
Just set my charge limit to 90%. We're gonna pull off as soon as the charging completes. But I'm going to try and skip the Hayes, Kansas Supercharger there. Kalie told me it's kind of a hassle to get to with some construction going on. I'll bail out and go there if I need to, but there's also 2 stalls there down. So I'm just gonna go straight to the hotel, which is right near the Supercharger, and there is charging there, so I'm fine with rolling in low. But if we end up needing to stop there in Hayes, we certainly can. Let's hit the road. Charging is complete. We added 75 kilowatt hour at this stop. So we just left and the car's already telling us to stay below 75. Speed limit 75 here, but I'm just gonna ignore it. If I need to bail out, I can.
We are heading out with 66%. It's trying to make me stop at the Sony Supercharger. Oh, this road's closed. Hold up. Alright, welcome back to my dash. So that was just a whole mess getting out of. The town has like so much construction, so getting on and off the highway you have to make like a massive detour. And then 2 of the cabinets aren't working. So like, well, the number 2 cabinet as a whole isn't working, so 2A and 2B are not working. So there was just like a bunch of Teslas roaming around confused because those were the only 2 open, but they weren't working. And then like everyone was trying to tell these people that they weren't working, and I was trying to leave and open up one that was working, and then like I had to go and do the whole detour again. So yeah, it was just a mess. I don't know how long the construction's going to be going on. I don't know how long the cabinet's going to be broken. I looked at the plug share. It looks like it's been down for a while. So if you can skip that one, and if you're coming through Kansas anytime soon, at least check the plug share. See, like, it was just an utter disaster. I would skip over it if I had a vehicle that could. It sounds like Brandon's going to try. It's going to be a little bit close for him, I think, but yeah. We're back on the road. I'm heading to the hotel. It's about 93 miles, so let's see. I left with 66%. I'm not sure if I said that or not. I was just, it was a disheveled mess. And it's saying we should get there with 9%. There's, I think, 2 destination chargers. I imagine there's at least 2 because Brandon booked the place and we have 2 Teslas, but there's also, the Supercharger is like 0.8 miles away, so. We are heading there. We're gonna get there at 6:51, it looks like, so yeah. And case you're wondering, I know I said that Brandon might be meeting us there, but I also said he was going to skip it, so, but the real reason we didn't see him there was because he forgot the time change. So I looked when I got there at his location, because I have it like through the, like, what is it, my friend, something like that, on iPhone, and I was like, you're still in Colby and I'm here charging and I'll only be here for 30 minutes and you're 100 miles away. He's like, oh, like I must have forgot the time change. So he's still about 100 miles behind me. So we will be seeing him at the hotel. I'm gonna go get checked in and then bring my stuff up, and probably around that time he will have gotten there. So we will see him soon. I'm very excited. We've only been apart 24 hours, but I miss him, so I'm excited to see him. So I just got to the hotel. There's 2 destination chargers here and I tried them both. And there's something stuck in one of them, so I plugged into the one that's working, and Brandon's gonna try to get it out when he gets here, but hopefully he can fix that. If not, he'll plug in regardless when he gets here, because his car's gonna be pretty low because he skipped over Hayes, I believe. So he'll plug in regardless on the one that's working when he gets here, and then if we can't get the other one working, we'll take it over to the Supercharger and just leave it there for a bit and then go pick it up later, because I mean 90% in that vehicle is more range than 100% in mine. So I mean, if we're going to be driving together tomorrow, it'll be fine regardless. So we'll figure it out, but hopefully we can just get that one working, because obviously charger on the destination charger would be better for the car after hopping from supercharger to supercharger. So hopefully we can just get it working. But yeah, I'm just gonna settle in here, wait for him. I go down to the pool. It's only open till 9. It's 7-11 already, so we'll see.
We made it to the hotel. I did end up going the entire way, all the way from the Colby Supercharger. We skipped past Hayes. So we were there, we skipped Hayes, we went all the way to Salina, about 200 miles. Let's see the efficiency here. 360 watt-hour per mile, just over 200 miles. And I found Kalie. She's in the hotel room. I just asked her to come down. But apparently there's a dead front stuck in the cable here, so I need to deal with that. And what happens with that is you can't actually insert it all the way. It looks like there's only half of it in there, so that should actually be pretty easy to remove. Look what I found! What have you been up to?
Driving all day.
No, I mean since you've gotten here and since you last left them off.
I literally went...
There's a bug.
I went inside and I went potty and then I laid on the bed.
Not shocked. Did you bring your things in?
Most of it, but I forgot one thing.
Okay. I did fix the charge cable. There was like a partial dead front, which was weird. Normally it's the whole thing, but it made my job way easier. I just used a pocket knife and kind of broke up the chunk of plastic, and then I was able to just tap it out. And now both cars are charging at a full 40 amps at 208 volts roughly, and we'll both be fully charged overnight. And Kalie's hopping in the back seat because Model X things and because I had the door open.
Yes.
What do you think of this Model X?
It's nice.
Do you like?
Yeah, it's nice. You get one?
Maybe.
I think you kind of have to at this point, because so many people have been like, ooh, you got a Model X.
I kind of want a Model Y though, just for the better efficiency, because this thing is so thirsty.
We get both?
Well, we're gonna relax, maybe grab some food, and call it a night.
There's a bug on you.
There's so many mosquitoes here, and the whole car is covered in bugs. Good morning from Salina, Kansas. Where are we headed for coffee this morning, Kalie?
I think we're both saying this town name differently, and they're gonna have a ball with this.
That's fine. I always butcher town names. It's kind of my signature move.
Me too. I literally think I said it multiple times in yesterday's clips. I was like, I don't know if I'm saying this right.
Yeah, Selena, Salina, Salina. I don't know. Someone tell me how to pronounce this.
Tell us, please.
So where are we headed for coffee, dear?
I think it's like blacksmith something.
Okay.
Coffee something around those lines. Coffee house, coffee and roastery.
Oh, I need to clean the windshield of the Model X before we go, and of your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna take the Model X, go get coffee, and then we'll come back, grab Kaylee's car, because this hotel is right off the interstate, so if we're going in town, we may as well take the car with more range. And Kalie hasn't experienced a Model X for years and years.
I think I was like 17 the last time I rode in one, and I'm 23 now for reference.
So yeah, let's go get coffee, but I'm gonna clean the windshield. So Kalie asked to take the Model X after I had already put my stuff on the passenger seat, so I decided to just hop in the back seat and experience this. It's actually kind of cool with the Falcon Wing door glass and everything.
Big.
All the glass. So we're in Kalie's car. We're taking off with 98% here. So it wants us to go to Topeka, then Independence, then Columbia. Looks like that's basically the route, unless we want to stop at a different one in Kansas City. There's not really any superchargers in between. Maybe we'll go through O'Fallon. Not entirely sure. But we're aiming for St. Louis tonight. And I think that will work out well because it puts us there just about 8 o'clock. And let me just show you guys for comparison what the Model X is calling for with its more range. And now we're in the Model X. It's calling for a stop in Olathe, Columbia, and then St. Louis. So less stops, but only getting there 15 minutes earlier, at least according to these estimates. But we're actually going to be stopping in the Topeka, Kansas Supercharger because Kalie's car is the limiting factor here. And we'll get there with 43%, so we'll probably still pull about 135 kilowatt even at 43%. Kalie's just finishing up her breakfast. Is it yummy? What kind of coffee did you get?
Can you not ask me a training question? I'm trying to eat.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take off in just a moment and head to Topeka. I've adopted the fanny pack life. I like.
Have I said hi yet? Hi.
We just
on video yet?
I think you did. We just rolled into Topeka, Kansas. Kalie rolled in at 34%. I rolled in at 42%, even though she started at 100% and I started at 995. I'm getting 142 kilowatts at 43%. Do you want to pull out your phone and see what you're getting? At 35%.
But I think you want me to. So.
Yeah, you're probably getting like 30 or like 60 something kilowatt.
62.
She's getting 62 kilowatt at 36%, and I'm getting 141 kilowatt at 44%. No big deal. I think we're gonna head to the Independence, Missouri Supercharger next. That's on the east end of Kansas City. It's at a Bass Pro Shop and a Duluth Trading Company, so it should be a pretty nice stop. And that way it kind of gets us through Kansas City as soon as possible. How long do we need to stop to make it there in your car? Did you look?
It says 20 minutes, but I don't know, it's never right.
Okay.
I have zero faith in it.
So we'll be here 20-ish minutes. You probably need to get to like 60%. It's only like 80-something miles. But I don't know, we're probably just gonna hang out here for a few minutes and then hit the road again.
I can't take you seriously with this on your head.
I like my fanny pack.
I can't take you
It's so practical. 19-minute stop. Kalie charged up to 62%. I charged up to 72%. Now we're headed to Independence, Missouri. I'm projected to arrive with 32%. I think Kalie's only projected to arrive with like 15. But we shall see what we end up with there. It's at a Bass Pro Shop and a Duluth Trading Company, so I think it'll be a pretty nice stop to kill some time. We might even be able to overcharge there and end up skipping the next one, but I'm not entirely sure how that looks. So yeah, now we're headed east on I-70. We made it to Independence, Missouri. Kalie just plugged her car in. She rolled in with 17%. I rolled in with 35%. Do you like how I know that, but you probably didn't?
Glad you know, because I don't.
We're at Bass Pro Shops.
There's
Getting
Duluth.
plugged in. Oh yeah, there's Duluth Trading for all the Minnesota people.
And then something
And then there's a Stony
Wonder.
Creek Hotel Conference Center thing. Kalie needs to drop some packages off at USPS. I need to use the restroom, so probably run into Bass Pro Shop, walk around for a few minutes. I'll use the restroom, and then we'll let Kalie's car charge up more because she needs about 40 minutes of charging, and I need about 20.
Oh, it went up. It's now 45.
Okay, and I only need about 25 minutes of charging. So we can just leave her car here and figure out a post office nearby.
So we left my car at the Supercharger because it's slow, and we're taking the Model X to drop off some packages that I have to ship out. So I'm getting angry notices that I must ship them.
Yeah. Bass Pro Shops is pretty cool, but not really our cup of tea since we don't hunt or fish or anything.
Well, my biggest issue with going in there is that every time we go in there, like 10 people try to sell us different sales pitches, whether it be for the credit card or like today they had like vacation packages.
Yeah, and then like a club thing. It's just obnoxious. Like, let me shop and leave me alone, and then you
Like
have
if well, it's like they have so many signs that if I have interest in whatever you're selling, I'll ask you.
But I just don't think they understand the, like, I feel like it's kind of a millennial thing, like, just leave me be.
Yeah.
Like, that's why so many millennials online shop, because, like, I don't want to be berated with sales pitches if I'm in a store.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I need something, I'll figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but they always have nice bathrooms. It's just like, I wish they just wouldn't try to sell us things, because we're really just there to, like, kill time and
Use the restroom.
And use the restroom, essentially.
Maybe if we find something we really can't live without, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
Well, it's now 6 p.m. We took the Model X to go get some food at 54th Street Restaurant and Bar. How was the veggie burger, Kalie?
It was alright.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The consistency was like
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was, like,
weird.
kind of falling apart, but it was good otherwise. It was tasty.
Yeah. And now we're headed to Columbia, Missouri. It's getting a little late, so we might not push to St. Louis as much as I want to, but we shall see how we're doing in Columbia, Missouri.
I am traumatized. We just drove past a little deer in the right lane, like struggling to get out from the road. It was so sad. I have never been more like disturbed to see anything in my entire life, because it was still like alive and just struggling, and yeah.
Are we in again? Columbia? We're in Columbia, Missouri now. Kalie rolled in with 25%. I rolled in with 38%. She apparently needs some love. I was not ready for that. It almost made me fall over.
Good.
We haven't booked any accommodations for tonight, so we need to figure out where we're staying.
I need to go potty first though.
We're at a Holiday Inn for the Supercharger, but it didn't look that great, but we'll see what we figure out. And yes, we're exactly matching.
What is this man doing?
Well, we decided to just book a stay at this Holiday Inn at the Columbia, Missouri Supercharger, because after we went in and used the restrooms, we decided it didn't suck. Basically.
And it just made the most sense. I mean, we could have gone all the way to St. Louis, but like hotels were way more expensive for like
mediocre-ish.
Yeah, really bad hotels, so.
And this way we'll just get breakfast when we supercharge in the morning, most likely, and we can get a decent start to the day kind of early-ish. And then we're aiming to go to the Gateway Arch National Park because National Park. And to get a pin and stuff. And yeah, not sure where we're going to end up tomorrow. Maybe Indianapolis. I don't know. We made it into the hotel room. It's a pretty standard Holiday Inn room. Coffee, fridge. There's me with my fanny pack. What do you think of the fanny pack, Kaylee?
Well, so when I picked it up, and for myself initially, and we can see what happened. Brandon was like, "Ooh, this would be great for me." I'm like, "Okay, I guess." It's not like I needed it or anything or wanted it.
We can buy another one.
They have like a more girly version. I just realized this is still in my pocket. They have a more girly version I might get.
And yeah, it's a pretty standard Holiday Inn. What do you think, Kaylee? It works?
It works for one night. I probably wouldn't want to stay here a week, but it works for one night.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go move the cars.
You actually got the pool.
I will, yeah.
Good morning.
From where?
Columbia, Missouri?
Yeah.
Yes.
We stayed at the Holiday Inn. We're facing the Superchargers right now, but not plugged in because we moved our cars off of the Supercharger for overnight. Pro tip, if you're staying at a hotel with supercharging, don't leave your car on it overnight because you'll probably get idle fees. They're currently repaving the parking lot, and one of the trucks is parked in one of the supercharging stalls, so that's lovely. And I don't think they probably have a plan for leaving the superchargers accessible while they're repaving, so that's lovely. But we're headed to the Grind Coffee House, just west of here. We're just taking the Model X. Kaylee could have made it there and still made it to St. Charles, but figured there's no reason to take both cars if we're going backtracking a little bit. So we're gonna get some coffee, then hit the road. We're gonna go to both of the St. Charles Superchargers because we're weirdos. And then we're gonna eat at the St. Charles Beale Street Supercharger at First Watch, most likely.
So we got our coffee. We both got large iced oat milk lattes, and I got mine with lavender and he got his with lavender and honey. And I think it's spectacular. How do you feel about it?
It's pretty darn good. We're just getting our usual drinks. This is pretty much our signature move at this point.
Yeah. I wish Starbucks would bring lavender, but till then I will continue to find small coffee shops with lavender.
Which are pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's even a Starbucks right there.
Yeah.
So we're currently in Columbia, Missouri, and then we're headed to the St. Charles main one and then the other St. Charles. This one is 150 kilowatt, this one's 72, but that's totally fine. And then we'll head to Effingham after that, but I believe we're gonna stop at the Gateway Arch first. We made it to the St. Charles Supercharger. Both are plugged in here. I rolled in with 40%. What'd you roll in with, Kaylee?
36, I think.
Okay. I started with like 85 when we left this morning after getting coffee.
It's probably about 88.
Okay. It's pretty surprising to me that like this 100D Model X doesn't have that much more range than your Model S 70D with 200,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're using the restroom and then we're headed to the other St. Charles Supercharger. I charged up to 55%, Kaylee charged up to 46%. Now we're headed to the St. Charles, Missouri Beale Street Supercharger. We made it to the St. Charles Beale Street Supercharger. Both our cars are plugged in. This is a 72 kilowatt urban supercharger location. I'm pulling the max 72 kilowatt right now at about 50 something percent. Kalie's probably getting like 60, 50 kilowatt at like 40, 50%. You just love your charge rates, don't you?
I don't feel bad about them.
But we're now headed up the stairs, elevator, whatever. It's in this parking ramp, and we're gonna head to a place called First Watch for some late breakfast, lunch. It's 12:11, so then we'll hit the road. We'll head to Gateway Arch National Park, and then to Effingham, Illinois. Well, St. Louis is a complete disaster as far as parking goes. I don't know how people live here. So we decided to skip going to the Gateway Arch, and we're just headed to the Effingham, Illinois Supercharger. Yeah, it's just a bunch of one-ways and not at all conducive. I don't know how people come and visit the Gateway Arch, because, man, parking is terrible. But yeah, so looks like we'll be there in about 98 miles. We're now in the wonderfully named Effingham, Illinois.
Car's chilly.
Sorry. Next we're headed to Terre Haute. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but...
Terre Haute? Haute?
I don't know. It's northeast of here, just across the Indiana border. We'll go ahead 1 hour, so that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Not like we can control the time changes. I think we're aiming to get to Columbus today.
Yeah, maybe Dayton instead of, what's it called? Oh, Columbus. You know, that really, the only, like, known place in Ohio.
We made it to the Terre Haute, Indiana Supercharger. We're now an hour ahead and in Eastern time. It's 5:36, I think that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
It's 4:21, like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so that makes sense. I just wasn't sure if my watch updated yet or not. There's a Starbucks over there across the parking lot, so we're gonna grab some Starbucks. I think we're gonna try and continue on to Dayton, Ohio. Here's the Supercharger. We've got a Model Y over there with a roof box, Kalie's Model S, and the Model X, of course. It's a 8-stall V2. And we're getting 120 kilowatt at 46%. I rolled in with, I think, 43, and Kalie rolled in with 23. Back on the road to Indianapolis, Kalie charged up to about 64%. I charged up to about 84%. We grabbed some Starbucks, snacks, and coffee. And we still need to figure out where we're staying tonight. We made it to Indianapolis, Indiana. We're at the southern, like, Indianapolis proper supercharger.
You either cut your head out or you cut my chin out.
Kalie rolled in with 28%. I rolled in with 53%. How long do we have to charge here, Drew? No idea. I think it's a pretty quick stop. Next one I think is Richmond, Indiana, and I think it's only like 50 miles. Let's look. We're pulling 72 kilowatt. It set the charge limit to 80% because it's apparently a high usage station. And let's navigate to Richmond, Indiana. It's gonna be east of here, of course, right there. And I can already make it there, that's totally fine, but Kalie's car, not so much. Looks like 69 miles, so it'll probably need like 50%-ish. So shouldn't be a very long stop. Kalie charged up to about 65%. I charged up to about 82%. And now we're headed to 63 miles to the Richmond, Indiana Supercharger. We decided to stay at a courtyard near the University of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio. There's a pretty big traffic backup on I-70, and Waze was having us go around that. but now it's just saying to stay on the main route and go through the traffic, so that's what we're gonna do. We could make it all the way to the hotel, but I've never been to the Richmond Supercharger, so we're stopping there. We are gonna be skipping the Dayton, Ohio Supercharger unless for some reason Kalie wants to stop, but charging wise, we won't need to stop there. So we saw some interstate signs saying to take an alternate route to avoid the traffic. So we had decided to actually take the alternate route detour that Waze was suggesting, even though Waze was no longer really suggesting it. It was more of just like an alternate versus a, like, you should take this route. So some pretty country roads out here in eastern, I guess, Indiana. We made it to the Richmond, Indiana Supercharger. We're about to cross into Ohio, and then we're headed to our hotel in Dayton. It's a little wet out. It looks like it must have just rained, and there's some fog, and the temperature has definitely dropped, and the humidity has definitely gone up. But it doesn't feel like 9:15 at night, but it is.
Right. Still right.
I think it's because we're on the west edge of Eastern time zone. That's how that works. We made it to Dayton, Ohio. Kalie, what were you saying about the bed? What do you not like about this?
It stretches me out because I like to sleep far away from the window because natural light will wake me up in the middle of the night.
And we're facing the window right now. Sorry. Natural light will wake you up in the middle of the night.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, after about 4 hours of sleep, natural light starts waking me up, and the window is like in front of the bed, which normally is like to the side, and so I sleep as far away as possible. But in this bed,
we both have to face the light.
I
Is that distressing for you, Kalie?
Yes.
What do we think of it otherwise? We're at the courtyard by Dayton University.
I'm tired. Can I go to bed now?
I guess.
Okay.
See you in the morning. Good morning from Dayton, Ohio. We just checked out at the hotel, and now we're headed to a place called Ghost Light Coffee. It's almost noon, and we're still waking up. We got in kind of late last night, but the hotel people recommended this coffee shop, so hopefully it's good. And now we're hitting the road northeast. We got our coffee and our muffins. Now we're headed to the Grove City Supercharger. We could go to the Columbus, Ohio Supercharger, but that one actually charges for parking. That way we'll have enough range to make it to most likely Cambridge, Ohio, and then Wheeling, Ohio. We made it to the Grove City, Ohio Supercharger. We're somehow pulling over 70 kilowatts at 70%. Kalie will be arriving here momentarily. She was following me, and I realized very last minute that we needed to exit, so she didn't realize that I did that on accident. So she had to go forward and then flip around, but she should be here momentarily. She'll probably need to charge here for a moment to be able to make it to the next one, the Cambridge, Ohio Supercharger. And then we'll head to this one, that one. Not sure where we're going after that, but got another Model X here, and this is an 8-stall V3 or V2. So we've got 5 over here, we've got 1 pull-in, and then we've got 2 over here on a little bit of a separate island. It's kind of a little shopping complex here. We're kind of tucked away in the back, which is good because no one will park here otherwise. There's a Starbucks, grocery store, a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I rolled in with about 52%. Kalie rolled in with about 28%. We've got 57 miles till we get to Triadelphia, West Virginia, and we're in the Cambridge, Ohio Supercharger right now.
Raise your voice to sing along. This is not the time to watch. Grab a hand and make this day our march. Pulling down the walls we cross, fighting through the wars we lost, looking for the day when we have won.
We're at the Triadelphia Supercharger. It's at a Hampton Inn here. We're in West Virginia very briefly, just on like the very tip of West Virginia, and then we'll be in Pennsylvania next. Had a very brief stop here in Triadelphia, West Virginia, and now we're headed a whopping 24 miles to Washington, Pennsylvania. Made it to Washington, Pennsylvania. We're currently trying to figure out our route for the rest of the drive. We're trying to avoid New York City, or at least Manhattan, because that just sounds like not a fun time, especially with two cars. So we're probably going to go a little bit north and avoid New York City. And yeah, we're just charging up here. So next stop, we're actually headed to North Huntingdon, Pennsylvania.
This whole world doesn't see. Someday we could all be free. Yeah, we could change the world if we would just believe.
We made it to the North Huntingdon Supercharger. It's out of Sheets. We've been charging up for a bit here, got some snacks. And now we're headed to our hotel. We're going to be staying in State College, Pennsylvania. But you know us, we're going to be stopping at the Altoona and the State College, Pennsylvania Superchargers along the way. We're here in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I was just flying the drone since it's beautiful golden hour here. But now we're about to take off to the State College, Pennsylvania Supercharger. Kalie, are you excited to get to the hotel soon? Yeah, I'll unplug you and then we'll get going to the State College and then the hotel. Man, it's just crazy. This car is getting 143 kilowatt at 47%. This is just gonna be a splash and dash at the State College, Pennsylvania Supercharger because our hotel is only 4.6 miles away. We made it to the hotel, charging at 48 amps. We're almost 2,500 miles into this trip. This hotel, the Hampton Inn State College in State College, Pennsylvania, has 2 wall connectors and they have 2 Clipper Creek units. Pretty full parking lot around front, but lots of room out back. And Kalie somehow managed to miss the exit, so she'll be here in a few minutes. We made it to our hotel, Country Inn and Suites in State College, Pennsylvania. We got upgraded to a king suite because the computer system went down and she didn't know what rooms were actually clean or not. And we booked a king room, and apparently Priceline kept overbooking them today. What are you doing?
I got an itchy head.
Oh, that's not good. So yeah, we got upgraded since we're only here for one night, so it was easy for them to handle that. And pool's open till midnight, and it's only 9:15 right now. So we're gonna relax. And then tomorrow's the last day of the Model X road trip. And then we'll be continuing the road trip in the Model S, but that will probably be a separate video.
Keep cutting my head off.
I'm not cutting your head off.
Okay.
Maybe your shoulders a little bit. If I don't cut your shoulders off, it cuts my head off. Downside of 1 foot height difference. Why are you huffing and puffing?
I don't know. Okay.
Good morning from State College, Pennsylvania. We're both still waking up as usual. It's 10:51 in the morning. What?
You make it sound like, oh, we're so tired, but it's 10:51 in the morning. But we've also hopped time zones twice in the last couple days.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. We're headed to a place called Rothrock Coffee for our usual morning drug fix of caffeine. And then we're gonna hit the road and we're gonna end up in Milford, Connecticut today. And we're gonna drop off the Model X. We got our coffee at Rothrock Coffee. It was quite delicious. And now we're headed to the Belafonte Supercharger. It's a whopping 13 miles away. Brief stop in Belafonte, Pennsylvania. Getting 46 kilowatts at 81%, love that. Next we're headed to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and it's a whopping 74 miles away. We're in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's bright.
We just got a car wash. Car wash is right behind us. So both of us have nice and clean cars after 3,000 plus miles of driving. Probably a very brief stop, and then we're headed to, I think, Moosic, Pennsylvania is the next stop, right outside of Scranton. You can hear the car wash going behind us, but yeah, we're gonna hit the road after I just wipe down the cars quick. We're at the Moosic, Pennsylvania Supercharger. I got here shortly before Kalie. Kalie's enjoying the cookie that she got yesterday. I forgot to eat. We're gonna grab some Starbucks, use the restroom. I think we only need to be here like 15-ish minutes for Kalie's car, and then we'll hit the road. We got some lunch at Panera here in Moosic, Pennsylvania, and now we're headed to the Middletown, New York Supercharger. We charged up way more than we needed to. We could actually make it all the way to Milford, Connecticut, at least in the 100D if we wanted to. But we have, I think, 3 more stops after this for Superchargers I haven't been to yet. We're currently in Middletown, New York. We're headed to Newberg next, followed by Fishkill, quite the town name. And then we're headed to Danbury, Connecticut, and then we're headed to Milford. So we finally figured out where we're staying. We're dropping off the Model X in Milford, Connecticut, and then we're headed to Rocky Hill, Connecticut, outside of Hartford, right?
Yeah, slightly south of Hartford.
That way we can visit her sister and any of her friends, because Kalie's actually from Connecticut originally, but hasn't been back up here in a while.
3 years. I think I came back Christmas of 2018 was the last time I was in Connecticut.
Love that. But yeah, so we'll probably see some of her friends and stuff, and then we'll head west again before we then head east to our new apartment in Charlotte. But my Porsche is still in South Dakota. So there's that.
Hopefully it makes it back, like in one piece from Rapid City to Charlotte.
I sure hope so, for everyone's sake. We made it to the Newberg Supercharger. This is one of the annoying, like, pull straight in because the parking lot's a one-way. They're always very tight, even in a Model S, let alone a Model X. I'm just not a fan of this style. I'd much rather back in and not have, like, basically pillars around me. What do you think, Kalie?
Getting out of here, especially from this spot, should be fun.
Yeah, and what she means by that is she's gonna have to back up like towards that Model X and then still somehow be able to pull forward because, like I mentioned, the parking lot's a one-way. So certainly not ideal, but we'll just be here for a moment unless we need to grab food or something. Okay. We're at the Fishkill Supercharger. Need to grab my Easy Pass out of Kalie's car because I didn't have it for the last toll bridge, and that could be good to have. But yeah, we're just gonna head to Danbury, Connecticut next. We made it to the Danbury, Connecticut Supercharger. This is our last stop with the Model X, I believe. We're charging up quite a bit here because we're gonna be headed to Milford, followed by New Haven, and then we're headed to our hotel in the Hartford area. So we do need a decent bit of charge in Kalie's car. And this parking lot is absolutely packed and kind of a madhouse because we seem to always attract a fare in the parking lot when we're charging. Kalie charged up to about 68%. I charged up to about 81% at the Danbury, Connecticut Supercharger. And now we are headed to the coast, essentially, to Milford, Connecticut, to drop off the Model X. Then we're headed to dinner and then to our hotel. And after that, we'll leave you there. Well, Kalie and I are in one car now. We dropped off the Model X here in Milford, Connecticut with Sean, its owner. Now we're headed to dinner, and then we will head up to Hartford, Connecticut, where we're staying for a few days. We just had a yummy meal at Claire's Cornucopia right next to the Yale campus here in New Haven, Connecticut. And now we're headed to our hotel, the Sheraton Hartford South. How was your meal, Kalie?
Good.
You had a pumpkin whoopie pie? Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it delicious?
It was pretty good. It was a little harder than I was expecting. Like, I feel like whoopie pies are usually pretty soft. But this was like a cookie consistency.
And there's a CL500 over here. Not sure if it's squatted on purpose or if the ABC has failed. And I had half of a barbecue burger because you had the other half, and that was really good. Barbecue veggie burger, just to be clear. And I had a like strawberry shortcake thingy, not vegan, but very delicious. And yeah, we've got 30 miles to the hotel, and we charged up here at the parking ramp, and we gained about 10%, so not bad since the hotel doesn't have charging, but we'll roll in with 39% there. And now you join us on the bed in the Sheraton South Hartford because Kalie was like, we film like this. Okay, I guess.
It is like, we film an exit clip, and I'm like, sure, can we film it laying down? So here we are.
Anyway, we returned the Model X to Sean. We're now at the Sheraton South Hartford in Connecticut. We're going to be here for 3 nights. What are you smirking about?
We're in Rocky Hill.
It's called South Hartford as the name, which is like South Hartford Metro, I think. I don't know. You know Connecticut.
We're in Rocky Hill.
Okay.
The hotel is South Hartford, just like how the other day you got so confused when it was like North Westminster. It's the same concept.
Okay. Anyway, overall Model X impressions, really like the windshield, not too pleased with the efficiency, but I guess that is what it is. It's a very large vehicle. Would I buy one? Maybe. If it had free supercharging, that would probably seal the deal for me, but otherwise I'm leaning towards a Model Y. Or a Jeep Wrangler 4xe.
I don't really want a Model Y.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather an X.
Okay.
or 3.
I really wish I could still get a 100 pack Model X with free supercharging. I know they exist kind of, but they're very difficult to find, so I might have to try and find one.
I feel like some people might get rid of them when their newer Model X's finally come in, which is what, January, February?
I mean, if you order one today, you won't get it till January or February of 2022.
I love that.
So love that.
What about the first round?
I think August is what they're saying right now.
Okay, so maybe when we settle down into Charlotte, there will be one that comes available because someone upgraded to a newer one.
That's if I don't end up with a Jeep 4xe before then. Or something else.
You could
Who
get
knows?
both. Who knows?
True. That might happen.
Lease one, buy the other.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to be heading west next. Total route unknown, probably through Michigan if we can.
Yeah, we've got to go get your car in Rapid, so we're going to head probably that way, assuming he does not impulsively buy a 4xe between now and then.
And if that's the case, we'll head to North Carolina to drop off a car first. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this Model X adventure. If you did, hit the like button, comment below any questions, anything you want to know. What do you guys think of this new format with Kalie kind of doing some clips separately too?
Yeah, let me know if you hate me. I'll stop. I can go away.
Don't make her go away, please. But yeah, see you guys next time. I would wave, but I'm holding the phone with both hands.
Bye!